A no commentary version of this run can be found in the pinned comment in the comments section below. この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Before we get into this speedrun, I have a paid promotion brought to you by this video's sponsor, Pascal's Wager Definitive Edition developed by Tipsworks. Pascal's Wager Definitive Edition is a ruthless hardcore action RPG set in a world of Lovecraftian horror come to life. This full console-length game originally came out on Android and iOS, and sold over 1 million copies on those platforms combined. As a result of its success, the Definitive Edition is now available on Steam to be enjoyed by an even larger audience. All previously released DLC for Pascal's Wager are in the Definitive Edition, including its expansion, The Tides of Oblivion. It also supports 4K and ultra-wide resolutions and an uncapped frame rate for an absolutely definitive experience. Set in the dark fantasy land of Solace, you begin your journey as Terrence, a former holy knight turned courier, setting out to investigate the Dark Mist, a mysterious disease that is spread throughout the land. Enemies are relentless and cunning, with each encounter testing the player's mettle and ability to learn. Menacing boss enemies will punish every mistake in the player's moves, but defeating them feels extremely rewarding. A total of 5 uniquely designed characters are available, each with their own combat style, skill tree, and talents, allowing players to tackle the difficult journey in their own style. Obtain powerful artifacts, level up skills, and customize your own courier however you want. I was honestly blown away by the quality. As part of this paid promotion, I streamed it on my Twitch channel last week, but instead of the 1 hour and 30 minutes I was supposed to play as part of my agreement with Tipsworks, I wound up playing it for 4 hours, and my chat was actually begging me to play more. If you question the existence of a deity in your world, Blaise Pascal would certainly place a wager on the existence of a mad god living in this masterfully crafted world. Please check out Pascal's Wager Definitive Edition with the link provided in the pinned comment below. Thank you very much once again, Tipsworks, for sponsoring this video. Hello everyone.
Resident Evil.
This is a Jill any percent speedrun in Resident Evil HD Remaster. This is normal difficulty. The final time is 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 15 seconds. The last time I uploaded a Resident Evil 1 Remake speedrun was a few years ago to YouTube, and I think my PB was 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 10 seconds. So a 3-minute improvement since last time. It ain't world record, but I ain't gonna stress about it, because I ain't in speedrunning for world records anymore. But anyhow, so I exited into the main hall and triggered the cold feet cutscene in order to advance the plot. It saves about 2 seconds or so overall. Next we're going to stair skate up and down the stairs in order to trigger the next cutscene. You can stair skate by setting your controls to any control scheme actually, and holding up on the D-pad and mashing the run button as fast as you can. One major change from the last time that I did a speedrun of Jill any percent is I'm running at 120 FPS instead of 60 FPS, instead of locked to 60 FPS. So I apologize for all you people at home who are more prone to complaining about screen tearing, but unlocked frame rate and better response time kicks the crap out of a little bit of screen tearing in my book. But anyhow. Gonna escape past that first one, and then we'll grab the arrow, and then gonna hold upright and up a little bit, bait out the grab. As long as we're not going like too head on, the zombie will lunge. Then we can just pull back and then just use the left analog stick to get around him. That's another thing too, is I started using alternate controls for zombie dodging. Pretty common question I get is, hey Carcy, do you use alternate controls or tank controls? And the answer is you use both. Because if you set alternate controls, then the D-pad is tank controls and the stick is alternate controls. It only changes the orientation of the stick. Alright, so that guy is facing the center lane. The guy by the shotgun shells is facing the center lane, so even though I'm all the way to the right, he's still going to see me, he's still going to aggro, meaning that I got 2 zombies to deal with going out of there. I stopped bothering to reset if I get bit here, but after turning, go into the menu. I'm pretty sure that there's a faster way to rotate that book in order to get the sword key off the back of it. Try to exit by hugging the left-hand side. Managed to get off a dodge. That guy didn't even wander into the center lane, fortunately. There's a dagger under the left-hand shelf, but we don't need it. It's normal mode. There's a lot of defense items everywhere. In order to grab the chemical, we tank controls up left, grab the chemical, and then we use alternate controls to exit the room. Going back into this room, I revert back to tank controls. Tank controls are generally best when you're moving in a straight line, but alt controls, if you have to move more than, say, 45 degrees or so, and you're not like moving, and you're not like turning mid-movement, general rule of thumb is use alternate controls instead. So to get past that zombie, I just like kind of pulled back on the left analog stick as soon as I hit the corner. He usually likes to lunge towards the corner. He can't really grab you there, and then we go on the outside to get around that zombie. Just go around the outside with tank controls. This room is another instance of tank controls. Up and left, straighten out, get past that guy. There's my checkpoint. What I do is I try to angle Jill into that camera angle to check and see where the zombie is and see if I need to like pull backwards or use alt controls or something to get around that zombie. Hold up and right. Take the dagger. I choose to pick up the dagger for basically just as an insurance plan, just to keep the run going, because I was getting sick of resetting the run on Murder Hall and dogs. Basically, if we kill the dogs fast enough with quick shots, we can hold off on using the dagger and use it in the Murder Hall if need be. In order to get the dog to tackle, you have to shoot him, like tech him out of his grab whenever he throws his head up. His next move will almost always be a jump knockdown, which you can counter with a dagger. That zombie cooperated this time. Thank you so much. We'll head through the door. go up, right, down, past the Crimson Head. Little known fun fact, you can decapitate that Crimson Head while he's getting up, and he'll still be alive. And he'll like run around and slash you and stuff. It's a pretty neat little glitch. I should probably record it sometime. So because we use the dagger on the dog, we have enough health to be able to tank a zombie bite if we get bit in the murder hall. Getting bit in the murder hall is not that big of a deal, as long as we're not going to be limping by the time we get out of it. We only start limping if we are in orange caution or lower than 50% health. So yeah, that guy got exactly in the way, as I expected. It's not even the Crimson Head chasing you into this guy at the very end that is like the quote-unquote run killer. It's that zombie in the middle. And that zombie in the middle is pretty much exactly the reason why I pick up the dagger. If I happen to save it from the dog, like I don't know, I think the dogs are probably a lot more annoying than that zombie in the middle of the murder hall. If I happen to kill the dogs fast enough, you know, so what? I get an extra dagger, but otherwise I use the dagger on the dog. But the express purpose is to keep from losing so much health on the dogs, because the dogs can go any which way in an any percent run. So now we got the grenade launcher, we got another dagger. The grenade launcher is going to be putting in most of the work throughout the first half of the game. And the daggers are just there in case we get grabbed and there's nothing we can do about it. They're just a safety token. There's a lot of RNG involved in dodging zombies in this game, unfortunately. It's my favorite Resident Evil game. We got nothing to worry about here. We're just gonna skate past this guy. He's gonna puke. We'll hit the door. Grab the serum. I have no idea what happened there with that menu. That was kind of dumb. But I meant to put away the handgun, the knife, and the sword key, because the sword key is useless now. Don't really need to bother with the stun gun either. Trying to avoid using defense items if I can. Because, you know, don't want to get grabbed too many times. from this point, we're just headed straight back to Richard. But before we do that, I'm gonna grab the emblem. Saved picking up the emblem just to keep our inventory arranged in a palatable manner. This is another dodge that could go both ways. What I usually like to do is I like to pre-turn and then kind of sort of angle myself up to the corner here. Well, not really a corner, but just at a perpendicular angle to that zombie. It's a dodge that I've been doing since like the GameCube version. I know there's like a faster dodge to do, but I just like didn't really learn it. Gotta get that guy to lunge and miss. I don't know what it is about that zombie, but he's pretty consistent to get to lunge and miss, but then we can get the music notes right afterwards and leave. Now we're headed straight over to the piano room. Sometimes that guy doesn't want to cooperate, so we'll just feed him a dagger. Just gotta push this once. Kinda messed up on the menuing there, I think. We'll use the regular emblem. Head back out. We just have to turn the large gear to the left twice in order to solve this puzzle and get the shield key. Now we're headed up to Yawn. So once Richard comes into the room, we're going to tank up and left in order to get around Jan. If Jan is stunned, then we're just going to run straight for the door, squeeze around Richard. But otherwise, if he's not stunned, we got to take the long way around the room, so I was able to take advantage of that and save like half a second. Yeah, Richard, you poor bastard. Once we get around the corner, gotta try to squeeze real tight, trigger the camera angle. If we can make the door, then we gotta try to go for it. 9 times out of 10, that zombie is going to be rotated towards like the outside wall of the hallway. So we can squeeze between him and the wall pretty easily. In this puzzle, we gotta push up right, lower left, lower right. In order to grab the jewel case with the mask inside. On the way out to Elder Crimson Head, we have to head into the save room here and grab the flame rounds here. I'll turn the first portrait orange, turn the third portrait green, the second portrait purple, open the wall, grab the mask, unlock the door, head to the graveyard. We got all 4 death masks to fight Elder Crimson Head. Excuse me. On the 3rd or 4th mask, I equipped the grenade launcher with the flame rounds. Trying to save the regular grenades for Black Tiger later. I should drink some water. So in the HD remaster, the grenades are slightly nerfed. They do a little bit less damage. And besides that, the drop-off range is a lot closer. It used to be that you could tag Plant 42 like half a room away, but you have to get a lot closer to fight Plant 42 with the flame rounds in the HD remaster, which is kind of obnoxious. Forward, back, lunge, miss, go to the door. Very, very consistent dodge. Take the battery. The first aid spray. That's the only first aid spray you're actually supposed to get for the fastest possible time, but I probably get like one more fast in this run. It's been a while since I've done this run, like I don't know. When was the last time that I ran HD Remaster seriously for Jill? I think I did this run like last year after I got back from Japan, maybe. Seems about right. Anyhow, good time to update my PBs. There's a pretty consistent dodge for Lisa coming out of the cabin here. Before doing that, though, we dropped off the lighter and the armor key. No longer need those. Hold up, move a little bit, wait until you see Lisa start to act. Then we just squeeze in between her and the wall, break into a run as soon as we see her wind up for her swing. You can't really do that on any other frame rate than 120 FPS, so bear that in mind. I don't know, to that end I may want to consider running this game on PS4 or something. Just to show all you console players how to do the dodges on console. Because there's quite a few differences playing between 30 FPS and 120 FPS. We can just squeeze in between. We can just squeeze past that dog. Just keep holding up. It's not that big of a deal. He generally doesn't try to launch himself at you and bite you in the back, fortunately. Yeah, so because we used 4 flame rounds on Elder Crimson Head earlier, now we only have 2 for Plant 42, so the Plant 42 fight is going to be significantly slower as a result. If not for zombie dodge RNG, I'd have probably beaten this PB on just like that alone. Just stupid stuff like that. I could have 119 pretty easily. Gotta run our ass in here to get the red book. Alt controls, back to tank controls to get down the stairs. Alt controls to turn around, back up. And alt controls, no, that was tank controls actually. I turned way too slow for that to be alt controls. To shake off that tentacle quickly, I just rotate the left analog stick. After the cutscene, we'll U-turn, head towards the door, pick up the key. The zombie hasn't made its way in here yet, so it'll save about half a second of squeezing past him whenever we go to push the shelves after getting the control room key. This happens again, just left analog stick. The guardhouse is the reason we want the first aid spray. Remember earlier, I also took a bite from a zombie in the murder hall, so depending on the amount of damage the tentacle does to you, you might have to use the first aid spray a little early, or you might need to use it after the shark bites you, if the shark bites you. We're not in caution yet, so chances are the thing that's going to force us to use the first aid spray is going to be one of the sharks. This is a trick you can only do at 120 FPS, because the game does more collision checks at higher frame rates. You can actually glitch it a little bit and only have to push that shelf one time. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know whether like there's a wall that just like sort of juts out a little more or what. But you're just able to push it at 120 FPS. For the sharks over here, if I have enough health, sometimes I like to walk over the center. It is going to be faster to walk over the center, because then you have like a shorter walking space, so probably saves about 3 seconds or so, but comes out to probably around like the same time loss, because you'd wind up using the first aid spray immediately after getting bit. It is pretty risky.
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
Release the safety, try to turn down the thing, and...
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
It's about average is 2 tries. If you're lucky enough to get it in 1 try, then it's pretty significant time save. It's going to be faster to just try to YOLO the button and just like try to guess 1, 2, or 3, as opposed to checking the whiteboard on the table. In order to do the shark skip, we can jump into the water and then hold up and left on the D-pad, so to the point that we're rotated 90 degrees. I went a little far past it, but I was already safe from getting bit by the shark, so I was able to just like go back and grab the key. I don't even remember where I picked up that stun gun. Oh, right, I picked it up when I picked up the first aid spray in the shed. But yeah, I need the stun gun for specifically that zombie. Because it's like you're gonna get bit by that zombie anyway. You might as well just grab the stun gun and save yourself a bit of health. So anyway, grabbing the poison. Little pro tip here, mash the run button in order to scroll through that text. Specifically the run button. Don't mash the confirm button when grabbing the map. You want to mash the run button to cancel out of the map screen and also out of that text, because if you mash the confirm button to do it, then you'll accidentally examine the hole and bees will spawn in the hallway. before we put in the book, rearrange the books to form a picture of a naked lady, we gotta equip the grenade launcher and the flame rounds. Stair skate up here. We're gonna head up to the center over here, wait for the thing to open. Then we're going to equip the regular grenade rounds and try to pop the plant's core before it closes up. So I lost a couple of grenades there. Unfortunately, this means that I will have to pick up more grenades for the Black Tiger fight. But that's fine, because I'll just use the leftover grenades in the murder hall for safety's sake, because those zombies will absolutely get in your way on the way to Yawn. You can still get one cycle, even if you're like a grenade down, so. Even with that deficit, you can get away with a lot. There's a couple of sleeping dogs over here. We're just going to squeeze right by them. No big deal. It's a bit of a tight line. We got 4 snakes that we have to dodge. They really did not want you getting through this area without getting poisoned. So you have to take a very, very exact diagonal line. Next up, go down this way. Squeeze past the dog. Gotta wait to see where the dog is going. If the dog is facing exactly opposite of you, is facing the direction you're going, then take a second to stop and see where the dog is going to go. Because if you just run past him, then chances are he'll like throw his head up and grab you and spin you around, and you'll get caught in a grab for like 5 seconds. It's just easy to lose 5 seconds. Just overall pointless loss of health and time, so keep that in mind. We're gonna go up the stairs now. This is an absolute run killer. I'm actually kind of happy that I saved my first aid spray for this. So we gotta listen for that first hunter to jump down, and then gotta stair skate up the stairs. If that hunter jumps up in front of you and gets in the way, pop it with a grenade and run. This puzzle in here, pretty straightforward. Just push the statue all the way to the end as the beheading of Holofernes and the binding of Isaac close in on you to kill you. And then just run behind, hit the switch, and then push it over to the thing in order to disarm the puzzle. You know how this works. There's an additional dagger you could grab after the puzzle is solved, but before you jump down the hole, but it's not really necessary to get. Now we got the red book. This is pretty straightforward. Just take the tight lines, run past the spider. When we go to turn on the power for the elevator, we have these two zombies over here. I like to make that guy lunge so I can run around him. You could run straight around him, but it's a possible choke point. But overall, that room is very tight, very difficult. Got the dagger here too. And I tried to yellow it because it looked like I could, but of course, learned my lesson the hard way. For now, I'm holding off on healing until I equip the grenade launcher. Because I wanted to equip the grenade launcher. To use against the zombies and yawn. We pretty much have no choice but to grab these acid rounds. Actually, that's what I needed. That's what I needed these. That's what I needed the grenades for. It's been a while since I've run this. I'm sorry. So, like, the 2 grenades that I was at a deficit on, I actually needed the grenades for yawn, actually. Move through here. Just go ahead and wax that zombie. Stun the Crimson Head, and I had an extra dagger, so use it on that guy. We don't gotta worry about these zombies anymore, but yeah, like I just interacted with each and every one of these zombies in here. Not a pretty sight, but we still have enough acid rounds to be able to beat Yawn. Whenever I go to unequip the grenade launcher, I can put the regular grenades back in. One, two, three. Even if we shoot the 4th acid round at Yawn, he's not going to die here. The only time we can actually initiate the kill shot is after Yawn comes off the bridge. Kind of messed up there a little bit. Oh, actually, maybe I didn't entirely mess up. Because there's going to be another box of grenade rounds that I could pick up when going for the red jewel. Just go combine them. Why the fuck not, basically. But next we're heading into the deer room. The trophy room. We can just squeeze in between these guys and hit the door. It's not a problem. As long as we don't waste any movement, we will make it to the door before Baldy intercepts us. Start by shutting off the light. We'll take the grenades. Push that forward once. Then we'll get the hawk over here. We'll run under the hawk and up the dresser, grab the red jewel. And we're out. I am going to have to put the grenades back in the grenade launcher at some point. But, you know, if I didn't mess up on the shots early on, I wouldn't have needed to grab more grenades, I don't think. This hunter, all we have to do is just run exactly behind him in order to force a quick turn. A lot of enemies in this game have quick turns, and once a quick turn animation is initiated, then they are locked into it and they can't attack you while they are in the middle of it. So it allows you to dodge some enemies like hunters pretty easily. Now this dodge can go a bunch of different ways. Stalled and messed up a little bit, but that was exactly enough for the zombie to rotate far enough for us to force a quick turn out of him, while also squeezing behind him and hitting the door. Don't need to grab the defense item either. All we gotta do to get past this hunter is just hold up. That's all you gotta do. Just hold up on the D-pad and just run. You'll just squeeze right by him while he's screaming at you like an idiot. Hunters are actually a lot less threatening than you think. It's only when they start attacking that they are a threat. A lot of times hunters, after the first slash, they'll follow up with an insta-kill, and if that happens, the only way to get out of it, it's like they'll slash you, they'll jump back, and they'll be like, "Argh!" And then that's when that's when they're gonna follow up with like the insta-kill. So you either have to hard stun them out of it with a grenade, or you have to run up and to the right using the D-pad. It's like tank up and right. After dodging these snakes over here, we can go down the elevator. That dog is gonna bite us, god damn it. Yeah, these dogs are ultra random. There's not really a whole lot you can do about them. Yeah, like that one. He started moving way too fast, and I got caught on his hurt box, or like his collision box. Fortunately, that dog was way off the mark. Could see his head turned all the way to the left, meaning he was going to commit to making a left turn while we run to the right. So he would have had to rotate all the way around to grab us. Just pay attention to where their heads are. Whatever direction their heads are facing is what direction they're about to turn, so use that to your advantage. Dodging in RE games is hard. Which is why I say, if you're just starting out with the game and you want the rocket launcher, don't watch a speedrun. Watch one of my no damage runs instead. And that hunter is just gonna scream at us like an idiot after we grab the hex crank from Enrico. Next up, we're headed to Black Tiger. There's gonna be a couple of hunters in the way here, though. That was the instant kill animation, by the way, that hunter made on the way out. It's just way too slow. Just remember, they always do the instant kill with their right claw. No. Once we trigger this camera angle, we can hit down on the analog stick in order to head back to the entrance. Gotta be careful, there's an invisible wall to the right. You can get caught on it, and the boulder can crush you that way. So try to run down the center when moving away from the boulder. Closer to the center, I should say. Not exact center. Obviously, you want to be closer to the entrance because shorter line, but don't try to take too short of a line. I could hear him bubbling up, meaning that he was going to try to spit acid, so I wanted to wait for him to spit acid before I started popping off grenades at the web. But grenades on the web, that's such a waste. No, it's faster. Also, if the spider is right up against you whenever you fire at the webs, then the AoE will cause damage to the spider, so you can actually kill the spider in 6 grenades. And the same 6 grenades that you use to get rid of the web. Pretty handy. This puzzle, I haven't even really figured out how to solve it the optimal way. I just push it 4 times, then go use the hex crank. Then go push it from behind, squeeze around. Push it exactly enough so that I wouldn't get rotated by the platform. It's probably about the best that I've done actually solving this. Yeah, if we were lucky to kill off Black Tiger on the way back, then hopefully we don't get hit by like a charge or the quick acid, but otherwise it's just going to take a second to check and see what he's going to do. Fortunately, he just lifted his legs. The way Black Tiger's AI pattern works, if I recall correctly, like from whenever I did Jill knife only no damage, was like every few seconds it does a sort of attack check, and this attack check can sometimes start with lifting its legs before it does an attack. But the lifting its legs is kind of a red herring. But it'll either charge, it'll either spit acid. If you see it bubbling up, then it means it's going to spit acid. I put away both of the cranks and got the first aid spray. 4, 2, 3, 1. If we angle up a straight line, we can get through Lisa's attack without getting hit, but the trick is Lisa has to be far enough away from the wall that we're able to squeeze through it all, so I'm not sure whether that means take a loose line and try to lure Lisa away from the wall before running the dodge, or what. It is possible to manipulate where Lisa spawns in the room every time you enter it. I do that in my no damage runs. But since we're playing for speed, we have to actually go dodge him. Dodge him? Her. Yeah, see, she wasn't far enough away from the wall, so she just, like, bullied us. We can't bully Lisa, she's heavier than us. So we can't push her out of the way. And she also gets, like, crazy hyper armor on her attack. Push up to around the part where the vertical wooden boards change direction and they become horizontal wooden boards instead. Then we can push up and, yeah. That's like the earliest time to be able to push that box. By the way, that berry cutscene a second ago, it is possible to skip it. I'm not sure how it works. I think that's something that happens like only in the HD remaster at like higher frame rates. Okay, so okay, so whenever she spawns on that camera angle, as long as we take like a really tight line and she doesn't like try to 180 us, I think we're good to just, like, slide right past her. It's on the return trip that's a problem. We have no guns or anything of the sort at the moment. Just our wits and a lot of dodging. We're done with the courtyard, so now we take the stone and metal object. We solved the box puzzle before going to fight Black Tiger. I should have drawn attention to that, but getting the metal object in this room on the way back in Mansion 3 is actually the fastest way to do it, because then we save on menus, just like multitasking, taking care of other things in other menus, specifically solving the jewel box puzzle. I was actually supposed to put away the grenade launcher and get the knife. But that's alright. I got 5 extra grenades that we can use on zombies. Might as well, right? Bye-bye, Barry. So we pushed that first statue and Lisa will swing at us, she's going to miss, we're going to go behind her, and we are going to pop her with the Magnum once in order to get her on the cliff, and then we're going to pop her with the Magnum 2 more times in order to send her to her death. Yes, you can actually kill Lisa, in case you didn't know. It saves a bit of time, too, on the cutscene where she's like, "Mother!" and then takes her mom's skull and jumps off the cliff anyway, so whatever. We're going to start by using the wolf metal here, and then the eagle metal second. Go down the fountain. Continue onward. Squeeze around these guys. Head down to floor B3. Barry's Magnum kills any enemy in one shot, but the problem is it doesn't always decapitate 9 out of 10, or it doesn't always decapitate 10 out of 10 times, so... That means we gotta get out of here, finish everything as quickly as possible. Otherwise he's gonna turn into a Crimson Head and fuck our shit up. We can squeeze in between that zombie and the door here. Another fast in case we need it, but... I could not. Could not afford the time to do so. Not that I need it anyway, because we got plenty of guns and ammo to bank on. I get pretty nervous on the capsule section here, especially when I'm on a good PB, so sometimes I might kill an extra enemy or something. Like that guy, for instance. Fuck that guy. This guy here, you can grab the nitro and dodge around him and stuff, but I don't like how inconsistent he is. He didn't knock down after we got bit, so I just decided to go ahead and wax him. Because he was just going to continue to get in our way, and we wouldn't have been able to complete the run, so pretty major time loss there. So one thing to note is that the tension gauge for the explosion preserves itself every time you go through doors. In the original GameCube version, it would reset to 0 every time you entered a door. But because it preserves itself, we have to alternate between 3 steps walking, 4 steps running. I like to be a little careful on these stairs here so that the zombie vomits and misses. Doesn't go for the grab. Tyrant dies in 1 shot from Barry's Magnum. Then we can grab the key and leave. Well, grab the key, unlock the door, then leave. My bad. After we kill Tyrant, there's going to be no zombies in here. But the zombies up here are still here. Fortunately, they're in a good enough pattern to just run around, head to the door. And that's the end of the run. Never really been a fan of 80% runs just because, like, absolutely nothing happens at the end, which kind of sucks. Yeah, it's fast, whatever. And that is Jill 80% in 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 15 seconds. Hopefully you found the run useful for something. If nothing else, I guess I showed off like a lot of backup strats in case the run goes south. That's generally what I like to go for these days in a run, is consistency. As long as it doesn't lose too much time. But the next time I do this run, I'm definitely going to get like a sub 120. Anywho, thanks everyone for watching. If you like this, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also check out all of my other videos on YouTube. Mostly no damage videos of various games. Most of my content seems to be Resident Evil, but I've also been working on, as of late, Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania. So be sure to go check those out as well whenever I upload them. Also follow my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/CarcinogenSDA. That is where I record all of my gameplay and all of my commentary. Say hi, YouTube. If you wish to support my bad challenge run habit, you may do so on Patreon at patreon.com/CarcinogenSDA. For as little as $1, you get early access to all of my videos. And at the $5 and up tier, I also have work in progress for like segmented runs that I upload every so often. So be sure to check it out. Once again, thanks everyone for watching, and see you all next video.
Jill, you did a fine job.